To have Naka Nolam come forward from our communications office to do the presentations.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, superintendent and staff, and community members. This evening we have 10 presentations. To begin, recently 34 students from Beijing, China spent the day at Jupiter Middle School to tour, perform, and be entertained while learning about the programs and educational opportunities available at the school. The Cultural Exchange Program is designed for a collaboration between the children to share insights and cultural perceptions that will help them continue to grow in a global economy. We'd now like to share a brief video that was taken during the visit.
We're just thrilled, absolutely thrilled to be able to host our Chinese guests today. We're honored, and we hope that they are having a wonderful time today.
It is something more than just a culture exchange. We take it as a kind of a national level, as kind of symbol of our friendship between our two countries. So we believe today is kind of milestone in education, also the culture exchange, also our friendship between our two countries.
It's sometimes hard for kids our age to understand that there is life beyond Jupiter Middle School, life beyond Jupiter, life beyond Florida, and to understand that there is this whole incredible world out there that we get to learn about and know about, and that we're going to have to. Education is about learning about the world.
Well, education today is very different from education in the past. We have to understand that our every action that we take in every place in the world has an impact in other places in the world. So we need to be able to learn how to collaborate and to maximize our experiences to the betterment of everybody.
So you can see that political arenas really open up all these cultural exchange opportunities. And here the students are visiting back Jupiter Middle School. The principal, the assistant superintendent, they are doing an excellent job to extend the warm welcome. And I think the students are enjoying it.
It takes away that unknown element of we are the United States or we are China. We are human beings, and we can learn from each other and enjoy each other. And I think ultimately, I really believe we are going to be a better world for it. I want to thank the delegation, and I'm looking for them. Thank you. Please come up. I just want to introduce you. They saw you on video. And we were presented with two amazing gifts. And I'm going to ask you to explain what they are, please, and their significance.
Okay. Yeah, so the first is a kind of a silver coin that signifies the cultural exchange and the friendship. And, this one is a certificate that is handmade.
Thank you. As soon as I was presented these for our school system, I immediately put them in my car and ran them over to Carol Bass in the board office, and I said, protect them, please. They're very special. So thank you so very much for bringing the students here and arranging this amazing cultural exchange for our students. Thanks so very much.
Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Next, in honor of February being Black History Month, it is an appropriate time to pay homage to the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In that spirit, the Martin Luther King Coordinating Committee recently held a student contest with the theme, Honor the Dream, Walk with Courage, Dignity, and Hope. Student entrants were judged on their message, literary technique, and organization of their submission. Victoria Lawrence, a junior at Seminole Ridge High School, was the first place winner in the oratorical performance portion of the contest, recognizing her effective articulation of Dr. King's dream and message. At this time, I'd like to ask Victoria to please join me here at the podium to recite her winning entry with everyone tonight. Victoria?
Good evening. My theme is honor the dream, walk with courage, dignity, and hope. Believe it or not, there are still many people of all races who are still honoring the dream of Dr. King. When I think about how his dream is being honored, most of what he believed has come to pass. He was rather radical about ridding the affairs of being mistreated by unfriendly people. He believed that all of us will come together as a nation. We are living a much better life now than we were during his time, even though there are hidden agendas of people who have challenges accepting other races, cultures, and ethics. Today, there are organizations that still believe that it is worthy to continue and honor the name of the person who has given so much of himself for us to live under one accord. You know, the National Urban League and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, has been around for 100 plus years. The work that they do is on a broad scale to achieve programs and racial justice for people in urban communities. According to the Black Past organization, it states, back in 1957, just 1 year before my mom was born, Reverend King became the first president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC. His goals was to abolish legalized segregation and to end disfranchisement for black senators in a non-violent manner. In retrospect to Dr. King, it encouraged protesters to walk with courage and dignity against the unbelievers who are in positions to take advantage of the nation in a careless, disrespectful manner of discernment. A Google search from the 1800s to today, the word dignity has become an uncommon word in our vocabulary and actions. Walking with courage and dignity to me means walking with my head held high, my shoulders back, and wearing the armor of God, which prepares me for the battle against the unbelievers who fail to conduct themselves accordingly publicly. But to Dr. King, it means to me that when he walked into a battle, he had to be wearing the armor of God to be victorious. I must ask this question for you all. If Dr. King didn't have the courage to walk in the past to change our path, where would we be at right now in 2018? Probably still working in the fields, walking on the opposite side of the streets, sitting in separate rooms, and going to segregated schools, fighting for our rights to be educated with little hope of any of it changing. Hope. That's the one word that inspired me. A verse from the Bible has inspired me with that word. And Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 states, "Remember, I have commanded you to be victorious and determined and confident. Do not be afraid, for I, the Lord your God, am with you wherever you go." President Obama, he walked with dignity, with the courage he did by believing that hope is not blind optimism. His quote about hope is not blind optimism. Hope is not the enormity of the task ahead or the roadblocks that stands in your path. Hope is that thing inside of us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, that if we have the courage to reach for it and work for it and fight for it. Hope is the belief that destiny would not be written for us, but by us, by the men and women who are not content to settle for the world as it is, but have the courage to remake the world as it should be. When I think of honor the dream, walk with courage, dignity, and hope, I realize that you cannot achieve one without the other, because honor means high respects. Courage is the ability to do something that frightens you. Dignity is a state or quality of being honored or respected. And hope is a feeling inside of us that has a desire for something to happen. So if I do not feel or expect for something to happen, how can I expect to accept respect? If I am afraid to do something that I know I have the ability to do, how can I expect to accept high honors? I am amazed with the knowledge I have gained with writing my message, because it influenced me to move forward in my life with the courage, the dignity, the hope, and the honor that my parents have instilled in me. Thank you for listening.
Great job, Victoria. Great job, Victoria. Thank you. Next, LexisNexis is a leading global provider of legal, regulatory, and business information and analytics. Recently, they donated more than $17,000 to Boca Raton Community Middle School, specifically to the school's Cobra Robotics Club and teams. The money will help the school purchase valuable equipment and materials to improve student achievement and participation. We are extremely appreciative that LexisNexis has chosen to fund the programs at Boca Raton Community Middle, and we are fortunate to have an organization in the community that recognizes the importance of supporting neighborhood schools. A big thank you to LexisNexis for the donation. Here this evening to accept this recognition from LexisNexis, we have David DeHilster, a software engineer, Sarah Fabius, a systems engineer, Lisa Spadaro now, an administrative assistant, and David Sunderman, vice president of technology. Let's give them a round of applause. And we also want to acknowledge Mr. Peter Slack, the principal at Boca Raton Community Middle, Dr. Jennifer Sanders, South Regional Middle School Instructional Superintendent, and John Swale, the school's science teacher and robotics coach. Our next presentation is to recognize another generous donation, this time from the Palm Beach Country Club Foundation. The foundation regularly provides financial support for a variety of initiatives throughout the county. The foundation recently donated $15,000 to Palm Beach Public to provide after-school math and reading tutoring, as well as enrichment classes including yoga, ceramics, digital media, drawing, and robotics. Additionally, the program provides transportation and snacks for students. Donations of this nature allow our schools to provide additional assistance to our students, and for that we are very grateful. We want to extend a thank you to the foundation for their generosity and support. Here to accept the recognition is the principal at Palm Beach Public, Ms. Christy Schwab, as well as Mary Schmitz, the school's assistant principal. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Next, we want to recognize the Ventus Charitable Foundation for their $12,000 donation to Pahokee Middle School. The Ventus Foundation is involved in numerous charitable initiatives with a special focus on public education in Palm Beach County. This donation will be used to start a robotics class at Pahokee Middle. The district sincerely appreciates donations of this nature that serve to enhance student learning. A special thank you to Ms. Meredith Trim from the Ventus Charitable Foundation, who is also a board member for the Education Foundation of Palm Beach County. Additional funding was provided by Florida Power Light and the Education Foundation. We also want to acknowledge the principal at Pahokee Middle, Mr. Dwayne Denard, and James Gavrilos, president and CEO of the Ed Foundation, and Mr. Ed Tanser. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you. Next, we want to recognize one of our own school police officers for his initiative in completing a notable training program. Sergeant William Lammy has been a police officer for 30 years, including more than 25 with our district school police. He attended the Criminal Justice Leadership Academy at Indian River State College in Fort Pierce. The academy is built around the completion of a series of Florida Department of Law Enforcement courses and other leadership courses that focus on ethics, line supervision, middle management, creating a sound behavioral climate, maintaining a sound organization, and instructor techniques. The training classes offered in the certificate program build leadership skills through ethics, interpersonal skills, decision-making, accountability, and other positive aspects. Sergeant Lamy engaged in more than 300 hours of training on his own time because he feels that being an effective leader is key to the overall success of school police officers. He is the only law enforcement officer from Palm Beach County to complete this training, and he believes in always looking for an opportunity to improve his skill set. He values his position as a role model for the department and a frontline supervisor with a very important leadership role. At this time, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Lee Spector, the Director of the Criminal Justice Institute at Indian River State College, who is here to offer some brief remarks. Dr. Spector, would you please come forward? Okay.
As she had already mentioned, this is a long, rigorous course. Bill actually started the program well before we initiated it about 2.5 years ago, and attended far more hours than what we currently require with the new program. Bill accumulated over 320 hours of mandated training. Now it's down to 288 hours. He lucked out. To make this even more significant, though, of the more than 3,000 officers here in Palm Beach County, Sergeant Lamy is the only one in Palm Beach County to have earned the certificate. In our 4-county region of Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee counties, we have 1,900 officers, and we only have 19 in those 4 counties that have completed this program. 18 actually, Bill being one of the 19 total. So it's quite a distinction for Sergeant Lamy to have achieved this. Thank you.
Great job, Sergeant Lamy. Let's give him another round of applause. Next, we want to recognize the winners of the Palm Beach School Counselor Association School Counselor of the Year Award at the elementary, middle, and high school level, as well as the new Counselor of the Year. This award honors school counselors who run top-notch comprehensive school counseling programs at their respective schools. School counseling is based on the delivery of comprehensive data-driven school counseling programs that promote college and career readiness and socio-emotional learning. In an age of bullying and increased mental health concerns, school counselors are uniquely qualified to address these issues, and their services are needed now more than ever. The Elementary School Counselor of the Year is Mr. Thomas Reben from Pioneer Park Elementary. Yes. He has been with the district for more than 20 years and has worked as an elementary school counselor for more than a decade. He recognized the need for social emotional support of students, and that's why he became a school counselor. Having always worked in Title I schools, he's motivated by student progress and success. Seeing his students achieve their goals and improve socially and academically empowers him to keep building their self-esteem and setting high expectations for them. The Middle School Counselor of the Year is Ms. Charlene Beckford from Questwood Middle School. She has been with the district for almost 7 years. She emigrated from England to pursue a career in school counseling. Prior to that, she worked with students as a learning mentor in an inner-city school and saw a need for helping students that had deeper social and emotional needs. Given that there was no such program in the UK, she moved to Florida to certify as a school counselor. What keeps her going each day is seeing the difference that she makes in the lives of her students. She often meets students who feel that they can't achieve academic or personal goals. Working with them and seeing how much they blossom is what makes her happy to come to work. She knows that every student can achieve, and she feels privileged to be part of their journey. The High School Counselor of the Year is Megan Steer from Park Vista High. She is in her 18th school year with the district, and she got into school counseling because she wanted to make a difference for students of all levels and backgrounds. She believes that every student deserves an advocate to help them access their potential and become a successful member of the community. She is grateful for the opportunity to help students develop into outstanding men and women who will go on to impact the world positively. And finally, the new Counselor of the Year is Cynthia Orsinigo from Emerald Cove Middle School. She is in her first full year with the district, and she has a passion for helping people, which made her profession a natural fit for her. She enjoys the fast-paced, diverse nature of the job and knowing that she's making a positive, lasting impact on the lives of her students. Each of these school counselors are tasked with the incredibly important job of tending to the complex needs of our students, and we are proud to recognize them this evening for their hard work and dedication. Let's give them all a round of applause. And we just want to send a special acknowledgement to Dr. Michael Kane, the District School Counseling Program Planner, Amy Mazzocco, a School Counseling Program Planner, Eunice Vivar, also a School Counseling Program Planner, Dr. Eleanor Kraft, the PBSCA Co-President, and Kalina Jusma, PBSCA Co-President. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next presentation is to recognize the recipients of the Palm Beach School Counselor Association's Site-Based Administrator of the Year Award, which honors school-based administrators who empower counselors to run effective, efficient, comprehensive school counseling programs at the elementary, middle, and high school level. The Site-Based Elementary School Administrator of the Year is Pamela Buckman, the principal at Pioneer Park Elementary. She has been with the district for more than 20 years and is in her 4th year as principal. Working in education is something she's always wanted to do, given her passion for learning and helping others. What keeps her going each day is her faith, friends, and her family, as well as the staff and students at Pioneer Park Elementary, who she considers her family as well. The Site-Based Middle School Administrator of the Year is Dr. Eugenia Smith-Feeman, the principal at Emerald Cove Middle. She is a native of West Palm Beach and a product of Palm Beach County Schools. She has worked in the district for 19 years and always wanted to be a teacher, given that she's from a family of educators. As an educator, she sees herself and her peers as their students' champions for learning. She believes that children must have the knowledge, preparation, and well-rounded social abilities to succeed. And the Site-Based High School Administrator of the Year is Wilnick Gideon, the Assistant Principal at Santa Lucia's Community High. He has been with the district for 6 years, and it was his childhood experience that inspired his entry into education. He is also a product of Palm Beach County Schools and a first-generation Haitian American who grew up with a mom who spoke no English and had a 3rd-grade education. His humble beginnings presented an obstacle, but he made it through because he had educators and mentors who believed in him and helped him dream big. That made him want to enter the profession and come back to the district to inspire and motivate the students who keep him going each day. Please join me in congratulating all of our award winners this evening. Let's give them a round of applause. Next, we're going to recognize 3 of our school volunteers for their exceptional work and dedication. The Outstanding Youth School Volunteer is Kayla Abramowitz, a student at William T. Dwyer High School. When she was just 11 years old, she founded Kayla Cares for Kids, a nonprofit organization that collects entertainment and educational items to donate to children's hospitals in an effort to help children feel better. The Outstanding Adult School Volunteer is Ms. Terry Priori, who has volunteered in several different skills throughout the district since first volunteering at Banks Forest Elementary 18 years ago. She served for many years as a room mom, helped out in the media center, acted as a chaperone, and also served on the PTA board as secretary, vice president, and treasurer. And finally, the Outstanding Senior School Volunteer is Mr. Robert D. Miller, Jr. Mr. Miller is a retired veteran who has volunteered his time at the elementary, middle, and high school levels for more than 40 years. He has served on the PTA and the School Advisory Council for several of the schools in the county, raising money as well as giving money for school programs, trips, and supplies. He has also served as a school security and police aide. Each of these volunteers works tirelessly to support the district, providing an invaluable service to students and the community. Let's give them all a round of applause. And we also want to acknowledge Ms. Debbie Elfin, the District Volunteer Program Coordinator. And our final recognition this evening is a presentation of the Superintendent's Game Ball to recognize the amazing act of one of our teachers. This evening, we've acknowledged several monetary donations, but this involves a donation of another kind. Donna Hoagland is a teacher at Marsh Point Elementary School in Palm Beach Gardens. Ms. Hoagland had noticed a change in one of her fourth grade students, Troy Volk, who at times appeared a little down. Concerned that something was going on, Ms. Hoagland had asked Troy's mother, Anahita Volk. Ms. Volk then revealed that she had been battling stage 5 kidney failure for the past year, and because she has a rare blood type, the odds of finding a donor were slim. Upon hearing that news, many people might have just simply offered their condolences, but Ms. Hoagland was motivated to do more to help. It turns out that she had the same rare blood type, so unbeknownst to the Volk family, she spent months researching how to become a kidney donor. Finally, one day, she called Ms. Volk with an unbelievable offer. She wanted to donate her kidney to Ms. Volk. The operation happened over this past Christmas break, and we're happy to report that everyone is doing well. Every day, our teachers go above and beyond in so many ways for our students, and therefore it's no surprise that their compassion would extend to their students' families. It is a pleasure to have Ms. Volk and her children here this evening, and we are grateful for everyone's recovery. For her incredible sacrifice and extraordinarily unselfish act, Dr. Vosa would like to present a game ball to Ms. Donna Hoagland.
Ms. Hoagland embodies, that's exactly right. Let's give her a standing ovation. Ms. Hoagland embodies the excellence and the sacrifice of all of our teachers, but in this case, this sacrifice, this commitment goes so far above and beyond what we expect of our teachers. But you are a shining example of the wonderful people that work in this school district, and we could not be more proud of you. Thank you so much for representing us in such a wonderful way. Thank you.
And we'd also like to acknowledge the principal at Marsh Point, Ms. Maureen Werner. Let's give her a round of applause. Mr. Chairman, board members, superintendent and staff, and members of the community, this concludes the presentations for February. The Communications and Engagement Department invites you to visit the district website at www.palmbeachschools.org to learn about all the great things happening in our schools, departments, and communities. Don't forget to follow us on social media, available in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. We also encourage you to download our new mobile app in Google Play or from the iTunes App Store. Search for a school district of Palm Beach County in either store. Thank you, everyone, for your attention this evening, and have a good night.
Thank you. I do need to say, Mr. Miller, it was nice to see him tonight because I've known him for many, many years, and he said that he's been volunteering and working in the district 48 years. So and I think all of it was at Palm Beach Lakes High School also. So our next item on the agenda are committee reports and student government report. Our student representative, Gabriella Hodling, is out ill tonight, so her report is attached to board docs for your information. We now move to committee reports. The Academic Advisory Committee and the Audit Committee meetings are also in writing for you. The next one is the Court Committee, Construction Oversight. Mr. Doctor.